hit a combined 100.
You told her?
No one in the media told her. She's like, that's amazing. She's like, I feel like Christen's giving me assists all the time. So anyway, 14th player in U.S. history to have a combined 100 assists and goals, 60 goals, 40 assists, and the game-winning assist tonight. So we will start off with Danielle Lerner. Go ahead.
Christen, did you pick Sam out in the box on that corner kick? I imagine it's pretty hard to miss her.
We have world-class targets, so I feel like I can put it in, if I put it in a place where they can compete, they're always going to win. And we had a ton of corners, and Pino has world-class service, and I think that we could have scored on a number of them, and it was great. It was great execution by Sam.
Thanks, Danielle. Moving to Grant Wiedenfeld. Go ahead, Grant.
Christen, you mentioned that Pino had 11 or 12 corners, and then, of course, the first service you give goes in. Did you give her a hard time about that afterwards?
You know, it's happened in the reverse before. So I'm not going to give her a hard time because I appreciate when she doesn't give me a hard time. But actually, sometimes the change, like especially in the speed of service, is an advantage.
And I also saw on the field, especially in the first half, that you were flip-flopping sides. Is that something planned, or when the corner brings her to the left or the right?
Exactly. I think it happens naturally in the run of play. It happens in restarts. I think for me, I'm pretty familiar with all three of the frontline positions at this point, so it's really comfortable for me to move across the front line.
Great. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Grant. Moving on to Jonathan Tannenwald. You are up. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Thank you, Aaron, and thanks, Christen. Congratulations on the win. You know, in trying to sort of problem solve there when the game was scoreless and you guys were trying to break through, especially in the second half, you know, what were you seeing at that point, and was there anything that surprised you or was unexpected?
I think it was a tough match. They were obviously giving us the width and allowing us to serve and then making it hard to finish crosses. And so it's actually a hard tactic to play against because when you're wide and you're free to serve, you want to serve it. And so I think ultimately this team perseveres because even if we're serving into a crowded box, we know we're going to make first contacts and second contacts. And, and when other teams get discouraged, when the goalkeeper makes a great save, I think we're able to make the team feel the pressure and the wrath that we're coming. And ultimately, I mean, I've been on this team for so many games, and the number of games that we've won like this, it's incredible.
Excellent. Let's go to Jeff Kassouf. Go ahead, Jeff.
Christen, just going off of that a little bit, it's a tactic that you have seen quite a bit, the way Portugal set up, that you personally promote, you personally and the team. But do you feel like the approach or the response has changed at all through the years now that you've seen it so much? Do you feel like there's a different way that you're kind of approaching how to break that down?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the belief and the relentlessness has not changed. But tactically, the team has evolved so much in how we try to break teams down. And, when I first got on this team, we were very direct and we overpowered teams with athleticism. And we still have that in our arsenal, luckily, but we're a totally different team, and we are utilizing, a completely more sophisticated and a completely different game than we did before to try to pull out defenses and try to create overloads, sometimes wide, sometimes centrally.
And just for you personally, there's been a lot of talk of kind of NWSL players with load management, a bunch of games and kind of a wacky schedule the past few weeks, slightly different starting point for you coming into this camp, obviously with the full European season over. So just curious kind of how you're feeling and if maybe that few weeks before this camp was helpful in any way.
Yeah, I think I was imagining that it was going to be really helpful. It's actually, I hadn't had a break since August, and I love the time that I get to train on my own, and you know, you don't have to prepare for games, so that allows you to push your fitness and your lifting and your technical training a lot further. But you know, from the first half, every single time that I came into national team, I felt like I was so played in, and I think I felt a little bit of the reverse today, where I was very grateful to get this game under my belt, because it you know, had been a month since I had played, and I feel like I ended the game better than I started the game, and hopefully can continue to improve from here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Well said. Last one for Christen goes to Alonso Contreras. Go ahead, Alonso.
Thank you, Aaron. How are you, Christen? Congratulations on being named the woman of the match, and also for reaching 100 combined goals and assists. How much is that this type of game will help you in the Olympics when you have to face these crucial situations like this match?
I think it's hugely valuable. We face we've faced all different types of opponents in preparation for this Olympics, and I think the style of play that we went up against tonight is something we absolutely could see. I think also just going, into the half scoreless and having to push for a goal, that, it starts to feel as you get closer to Olympics that these are the types of experiences that we really want to have and want to succeed in.
Awesome. Thanks, Christen, for your time very much. Congrats.
Thanks, Hy.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for your time and patience waiting for the players.
Good night.
And good night. And
It's 10:45. Woo! Good night, everyone.